Galactic Standard Date. Year 11356. Day 96. Sol Standard Date. 4th of the 8th, 3267. Bjorn's Berserkir mech had finally finished its repairs, and the warlord still hadn't made any moves. Bjorn looked over to Balgruf. Hey, Balgruf, what do you make of the warlord? The first passive Azarian to ever exist, or is it plotting some stupid shit? Balgruf let out a hearty laugh before pointing a finger at Bjorn. You! Haha! You actually just used the words passive and Azarian together? Haha! No, you dumb shit. Of course it's plotting. Bjorn's eye twitched as she shoved Balgruf's mech over. Balgruf let out an indignant yelp of surprise before landing flat on his ass. It was a rhetorical question you asked, so stay down there with all the shit you've been talking. Balgruf stood and dusted his mech up before flipping Bjorn the bird. Vad? Been in command for so long that you have forgotten how to take a joke. Bjorn sighed before beginning a retort and immediately being cut off as all the gathered raiders got a chill down their spine. Bjorn's eyes shot up to the warlord. He could barely make it out, but there was an uniformed rift appearing in the lower orbit. The crack was getting longer and longer. Bjorn's eyes widened, and he began to chuckle. Oh, we're fucked now. Wonder how much of our fleet has restocked the ammo stores. Balgruf hefted a massive beard axe off his back. Looks like we're going to meet our ancestor today, boys, he said, as the beard axe's edge turned orange with heat. Bjorn eyed the axe in his friend's hand. How many Azarians has Theunis slayed today? Balgruf donned a cocky smile as he hefted his axe. All Theunis split the skulls of 70 of them bastards. How many skulls has Mjolnir crushed, Bjorn smiled. Somewhere around 25 to 30, I think. I say 25 at the lowest. Hard to keep track when you go over 20. Balgruf snorted in derision. Guess I'll have to take over 50 by the end of this. Bjorn smiled and stared back up to the now fully formed rift. Looking into the hellscape of the Veil, he saw the mass transit of another 2 warlords, followed by 1,000 or so mature Azarians, and then somewhere around 10,000 of the baby Azarians. Bjorn tested the heft on his Mjolnir, as he only remarked, Ooh, they are bringing out the big guns, those old bears. That many mature Azarians was originally enough to take out early human settlements. Forces around that number took out New Hope when they had a solid 50 years of settlement under its belt. Our defenses were much better than the USA, so they're here for us. Balgruf smiled wickedly. Guess we have to show them why you don't fuck with Vikings. Bjorn laughed before engaging his main thrusters. See you later, Balgruf. Gonna get a head start on the competition. Balgruf leaped into the air before engaging his thrusters to try and gain even a couple of feet. The rest of the raiders followed suit and drew their weapons before engaging their thrusters and following after their leaders. The group of 20 Berserkir mechs took to the sky and began heading straight for the hordes. A few of the mature Azarians split off and led groups of the babies down towards the incoming raiders. The raiders split off into groups of 6 to fight each group of Azarians, leaving Balgruf and Bjorn to their own battles. Bjorn and Balgruf had come up side by side as they slammed into a group of the baby Azarians, swinging wildly with their hammer and axe. Bjorn and Balgruf had killed the first 3 babies in the opening attack, and the following Azarians didn't fare much better. Balgruf's superheated axe Svanir burning and slicing through tentacles and skulls. Bjorn's Mjolnir electrocuting each Azarian that came within 5 feet of it, before smashing in the skulls of anything that happened to cross his path. The mature Azarians decided to use the babies as meat shields, as they circled around and grabbed at the 2. The grizzled veterans had experienced more days of intense combat than these Azarians had likely lived their pitiful lives. Bjorn and Balgruf slammed into each other's back and started hacking at the massive tentacles that had attempted to wrap them up. The 2 mature Azarians examined their timing of the swings as they relentlessly cut through their tentacles before stabbing out with their 2 hardened armor-piercing tentacles in a bid to oust the pilots then and there. Bjorn threw Mjolnir out and caught the mature attacking him in the side of his head. The tentacles never reached him. Balgruf waited until the last second before parrying one of the hardened tentacles and twisting out of the way of the other. The one Balgruf dodged scraped across Bjorn's side, and Bjorn was about to turn around and smack Balgruf, but he flew towards the now defenseless mature Azarian and split his skull. Bjorn flew up to Balgruf. What in the actual fuck? You down there got me killed. Balgruf sighed. I was sure that you wouldn't be pissed by that attack. That's why I dodged that one and parried the other. Bjorn's eye twitched. Let's not take any chances with that again, eh? I'm going to go over there. You go the other way. Balgruf rolled his eyes before slowly flying off in the other direction. Bjorn looked around to see how the other raider groups fared. One was still in battle but looked fine. The second was already done with their battle, and had started moving to assist the third. The third group wasn't doing great. They had gotten an extra mature Azerian by the looks of it. One of the 6 was missing, and 2 of the remaining 5 were locked in combat with a mature and a few babies. Bjorn deployed his Bushmasters and raked his fire across the mature Azerian to grab his attention before swinging his hand up. With his hand's movement, Mjolnir came up from below and caught the underside of the mature Azerian. It didn't die from the blow, but Mjolnir was stuck in his belly. Bjorn grinned and started flicking his wrists left and right. Little bumps popping up on each side told Bjorn that he was doing what he wanted. The Azerian shuddered and vomited up his guts before hanging limp. Bjorn called Mjolnir back, dragging the corpse along with it. Once the hammer had brought the body close enough, Bjorn cut the Azerian open, freeing his gore-covered hammer. Bjorn watched the body of the mature Azerian fall away to the ground, and he gave it a pleasant wave. Bye-bye. It sure is a good thing you guys are a bit tougher than the babies. I got to give you a much more painful experience than I can give to those tiny ones. Bjorn turned back to the horde above to find them simply moving aside, as the warlord slowly floated towards him. Oh, well, that sucks. We might be able to kill it. Fuck it. Wood in, zoom zoom juice. Don't even bother replying, you ruined the moment, he said, as he closed his eyes and felt the familiar flood of berserker serum hit his veins. Now it's time to die. Bjorn hit the afterburners and dashed straight to the warlord's face. He extended his hell sabers and did an arc charge as he slowly took in the picture of hundreds of tentacles that were as thick around as his mech converging towards him. They were all hardened, capable of piercing his mech. The serum would make it harder to hit him, sure, but he knew that getting hit like this would suck. In the heat of the moment, he let out a savage scream and sliced at the nearest tentacle. The hell sabers weren't enough to cut all the way through it, leaving it half severed and hanging. The time it took for him to slice at the one gave the others time to line up. Soon the warlord was stabbing at him with 2 or 3 at a time as they lined up with him. Bjorn sliced and dodged his way through 11 tentacles as he got closer and closer. Finally, the warlord caught his leg, piercing straight through and severing the leg. Bjorn whipped Mjolnir off his waist towards the warlord's eyes and triggered the arc detonation, causing lightning to arc out across the warlord's face, but the sheer mass of the creature made the attack near meaningless. Bjorn had only managed to damage 2 out of 15 eyes before the tentacles had finally reached him. The first pierced through the mech's shoulder, severing the arm off. The next pierced through the side of the torso. Bjorn watched in slow motion as the cabin of the mech started to cave on the side of the tip of the tentacle began to pass through. He watched in horror as the tentacle began to slowly pierce through his stomach, tearing out an entire chunk of it on his way through. The next tentacle went through the head of the mech and destroyed the berserker mech's functions. He grabbed at his side, trying to hold it all in, as he felt the inertia from falling take him. He knew that hitting the ground in this state would mean death. Guess it's my time. Hope Balgruf manages to do more than I did. Maybe he can lead the boys well when I'm gone. Bjorn closed his eyes and waited for the end. With a metallic clang, his cabin shook. A berserker mech tore open his pilot's compartment, and he found Balgruf staring at him with a look of horror as he scooped him out of the mech and slowly dropped him into his lap. Bjorn winced and pointed back towards the mech. Munin, save him too. Darkness took Bjorn. Balgruf looked down at the face of Bjorn as he slowly went pale and his limbs slackened. Fuck! Fuck! He yelled, as he ripped Munin's backup housing out of the mech and held onto it. Hugin, we need to take him to a working ship. We need a medbay to get proper medical care for him now. I won't lose him to these filthy Azerians. We have to at least keep his body safe from the Azerians. If we can at least do that, we can save him. Fuck. Hugin appeared on his HUD with a worried look. There is one ship that is ready to be in working order still. It's set down for ammunition, and then we lost communications with them. I have to assume the worst. The location is marked on your HUD. Good luck, Captain. And good luck, Munin.